but we're going to go into a bit of a different tonal shift. Then we'll go right back into a Christmas film. We're going to go into a little horror film that's only 77 minutes long called All Fun and Games. This is one that we've been looking forward to for a little bit of time now. A group of Salem teens, they discover a cursed knife that unleashes a demon that forces them to play gruesome, deadly versions of childhood games where there can be no winners, only survivors. This is one that I did not think was going to be for me. Okay, I'm not a horror guy. I don't love horror. Now, I love horror films, right? There are specific ones I love. But for me, it's not my least favorite genre, but it's just one of those genres that I'm not that well versed in, really. With this film, it's very charming. The acting is very good. The practical effects are fantastic in this film. The story was really interesting. One that could have gone one way or another, because if this would have been a lower budget film, you would have had, I don't want to say lesser actors, but actors who couldn't do as good of a role in this. This had a bit of like a Scream feel to it, mixed with a little bit of like a Friday the 13th, and you brought up a little bit of like Evil Dead too, a little bit of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole ton to say about this one, besides I enjoyed the story. The acting was pretty darn good, and the practical effects were great. I just thought that this is a film I'm not going to ever watch again. As a one-time watch for a horror film, I really enjoyed what I got from it. And it's a very tightly knit, 1 hour and 14 minutes without the end credits?
Something like that, roughly.
Yeah, roughly 77 minutes with the end credits. So I'm going to go with the 3 out of 5. Not a bad little film, really. Not a bad little film. But what did you think about
it? So this one for me, it didn't blow me away or nothing. You know, it's not on the level of Evil Dead. It's not on the level of the bigger possession films. But I think the acting in this is really good, which is a given with the actors that at least 2 of the actors that it has in it. Yeah. They usually do pretty good in their movies or series. But this one was, for me, it was just a fun little possession film that gave better kills than I thought it was going to give. I was very afraid that the kills kind of be either cutaway kills or something like that, and they weren't really that, thankfully. One of my biggest flaws with it, though, was the ending, how they beat the demon. Yeah. I thought that could have been handled a little bit differently. It kind of felt underwhelming in a way for me. I think if you could have fixed that to where it felt more grand or something, just a little bit better, it could have made the movie go up a little bit more for me. That really brought it down some. But I did like the very ending, which you see at the beginning of the movie, so it's not really a surprise when Asa Butterfield, I think that's how you say his name, when he's getting arrested. As I said, it's not a spoiler. They show you in the beginning of the movie what's fixing to happen at the end. They kind of give it away. But I like that because a lot of these films, they don't show the consequences after all these events. And with this one, you actually get to see the aftermath. You get to see the consequence of what he did throughout this film, even though it technically wasn't him that did it. But I like that aspect to it. I like them suffering some kind of consequences for it, because to me, in movies like Evil Dead and stuff, Do I love those films? Yes. But by the end of the movie, you're sitting there thinking, well, what happens now? Do they just never know about the people that was just killed? Do people not start, wondering where their loved ones are at? So I like that aspect at the end of it. And it was solid enough of a movie that I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So not much higher than you, but it's one I could rewatch. It's one I could throw on as an easy watch, and went out and purchased it. So
Yeah.
that shows you how much I liked it.
Yeah.